Ghost in the Night with Phil Sams. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this preview of the new show I have on my Patreon page. It is called Conspiracy Madness. This is just a preview to let you see what it's all about. If you want to check out this episode, become a patron of my Patreon page. That is patreon.com/GITN podcast. So without further ado, here it is. Conspiracy Madness, a Patreon exclusive. Welcome to the GITN podcast conspiracy episode, which is only available on Patreon. Thank you for becoming a Patreon subscriber, or whatever they're called, a patron of the Patreon account. Only for you guys. This is episode number 1, and it is the conspiracy show. Like I said, today we're going to talk about coronavirus, the conspiracy or not conspiracy of coronavirus. I'm just going to give my opinion and kind of go from there. I'm not a medical expert, so don't take everything I say as gospel. I'm just throwing some ideas out there and making some observations of what I see and what I hear. But these are just going to be regular conspiracies. I'm going to give my opinion. I'm not going to really get too deep into these things. I'm just going to give my opinion, what I think, and some of the more fascinating ideas of all the conspiracies I'm going to talk about. That is basically what this show is going to be about, and it's just a little bonus content for you patrons of the Patreon account. Now, when it comes to conspiracies, I'm not a big conspiracy guy, because I think the recent events over the past couple of years should teach us that there's a lot of truth and a lot of conspiracies. Some of them are way far out there, but they might have a little morsel of truth inside them, and they have to be sometimes given some serious thought, and there might be something to it. It might not be as crazy as one might think when it comes to conspiracies, and I think coronavirus is one of those. But that is basically my interpretation. So I'm not a big believer, but I'm not a denier either. Just because something's a conspiracy doesn't mean it's false, doesn't mean it's 100% real. So, but that's what we're going to discuss, and I'm doing it on the Patreon because you can't really talk about this on a lot of the social media now without getting shadow banned, without getting blocked or basically blackballed. So I'm just doing this for you guys on the Patreon account. I appreciate everyone who has become a member. But let's get right into coronavirus. Now, I'm going to start this by saying I don't believe, there's those people that are complete deniers. I'm not one of those. This is a real thing. This is definitely something we should look at and be cautious of. Now, it's not, in my opinion, I don't think it's as deadly as we were told it was when it first came out, because most people err on the side of caution. And that's good. We are coming out of the quarantine. We're not coming out of the quarantine. We're out of the bad part of the quarantine. Now we've got to wear masks. And I'm okay with it. Do I want to wear a mask? No. Do I think it's 100% a must? Not necessarily. I don't think that. But I think it's definitely a good idea. And I do it just, because I don't want to get shit from anybody else. Let's be honest. The conspiracy comes in to this is, why did, the governments take the action they did? One, did they do it because they didn't know what we were dealing with, to, like I said, err on the side of caution? Or was there a greater plan in place, and they wanted to see how far they could push us and take things away before we would fight back? Here's what we know. The death rate isn't what they say it is. It isn't as bad as they thought it was going to be. Yes, it's worse than the flu. The older you are, the more medical conditions you have, the worse this is going to be for you. If you're young and healthy, you should be all right. You should pull through this just fine. But why? So why is everybody locked down? That's the question. The big conspiracy is, in which I'm not necessarily a denier of this, I think they played this up a little bit to cause problems for Trump. It's no secret that the left wants Trump out, and probably some of the right wants Trump out as well. And this is the one nail in his coffin. Economy-wise, he's done well. He's got jobs moving. My business, what I do, my real job, has picked up. It was horrible for the 8 years prior to him showing up and doing what he has done. So it's been beneficial for me, in my line of work. But there's those people that want him out, and it almost seems like they are taking this opportunity in this situation to make him look horrible, because he's going to make stupid comments. He's going to do stupid shit, and they used it to their advantage to get him out in November. I wouldn't be surprised a bit if, as soon as he gets voted out in November, if he gets voted out, which probably, let's face it, he's probably going to get voted out. This is all. You never hear it again, or they start backpedaling real quick. Would a group of people do that to us? And I say group of people, I say the media. Would they go to this extreme just to make sure he doesn't get elected? I would say probably. It's not out of the realm of possibility. This is definitely a strong possibility they would do that. Alrighty, there you go. That was the free preview of my new show, Conspiracy Madness, that I am doing on my Patreon page. If you want to become a patron and have access to this episode and many of my other bonus videos that I do that I don't put on my public page, then be sure to become a patron. As little as $2 a month. Get you all the bonus material that I put out, including the show that I'm planning on doing at least twice a month, if not more. So be sure to become a patron. Greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you next week for another regular episode of Ghost in the Night.